house. I wanted to share that when I was looking at my speech and putting something together, I was having dinner with my family, with my parents, and they're retired, so they're watching Judge Judy. And on the commercial for Life Alert came on, and does anyone here know that commercial where it says, "Help, I've fallen and I can't
Get up."
Right. And it brought me back to a time where I actually was trying to learn how to ride a motorcycle. So I went to the nearest school, and I got there, and I was fine. I was doing my eights, and I was going around the whole area, but there was a slant on the hill. And I went up the hill, and I slowly, very slowly tipped over, and I couldn't get up. And that's where I was like, I can't get up, help, I can't get up. So in that flashback, I just thought about how helpless I felt. I was 45 at the time. I had 2 teenage daughters, so I thought, oh, I can do this. I've always wanted to learn how to ride a motorcycle because I used to ride mini bikes when I was a kid. I was the only girl who rode them with the boys. And we would race, and I just always wanted to learn. But growing up, I was like, you're a girl, girls don't ride motorcycles. So I would, any chance I had to get on the back of someone's bike, I loved it. But there was a day where at one of my girls' soccer games, a father had a motorcycle, and I was like, oh, I was just looking at his motorcycle, I was so excited, and he gave me a ride. But I kind of got some looks, and I was like, okay, I have to learn how to ride my own motorcycle. It's time. Now, at the time when I was laying on the ground, I finally got up from underneath it, but I just felt so discouraged because this was a big dream of mine, was to be independent and ride. And my heart, I just felt so alone. I just really felt alone. I had no one there to help me. I couldn't lift it up, it was too heavy. It was a large bike, I couldn't get up. I couldn't pick it up. And I just thought about, I had this feeling, my heart just sunk. And how sometimes we feel really lonely, but maybe not, sometimes we don't always feel alone when we're lonely. Sometimes when we're alone, it can be calming, it can be nice. But when we're feeling lonely, at the moment I just feel I couldn't breathe, I feel very anxious, I felt vulnerable. And I thought, you know, there's a lot of times when we feel that way. And our hearts are pumping and we're not clear. And sometimes, if that's extended, we have health problems. Sometimes we have heart problems. Sometimes we binge on things. It could be alcohol, it could be eating, and these are the things that sometimes we do as humans, and the youth as well. And these are things that, if we're taught coping skills and ways to get around it, they can help us throughout our lives. And one of the techniques that I've learned is through breathing. So it's something you can share with the children too. So sometimes you can take something that's square, whether it's a piece of paper or maybe your palm, and you could breathe in as you go down. Think about your heart rate. Hold it as you go across, and then slowly breathe out. And then we'll come up and around and hold it. And so sometimes you can take little things around you and share it with children, or do it at work. You could take an index card and do the same thing. But what it does is it slows down our hearts and gives our hearts the chance to catch up with our brains. Because our brains, we have duality in our brains. We want to survive, and we're trying to be smart about things. At the same time, there's dual thinking, trying to combine them. Whereas our heart, it is one organ. So our hearts actually are the place that give us wisdom, give us courage, gives us a power to stay focused, and can bring down our brains. We can reconnect our brains to our hearts. that's what I needed at that moment. On the motorcycle, on the ground, right? I couldn't get up the motorcycle. And I was reading Psychology Today, and they just came out with a new article on loneliness. And they did a survey with about 20,000 people. And they found about 47% of those people felt very alone, very anxious. And that's something that we're really dealing with a lot in our society today. And children, well, young adults that are 25 and older, they suffer much more than we do as adults. So some of these techniques, mindfulness that we hear about, breathing, and just reconnecting ourselves and finding those coping mechanisms and skill sets that we can do as adults and share with the youth are wonderful. And one resource is, you could look it up online, it's called Heart Math. Has anyone here heard of Heart Math? They have wonderful exercises, and they do lots of science behind connecting and coming from a place of your heart and reconnecting it with your brain. So there's lots of skill sets. It could be breathing, and just connecting your kind of vibration with those around you. And it's very important to connect. And one of the ways we can connect also is to go to maybe meetups. And you could go hiking, you could do all kinds of exercises. One of the things I did was, after my experience with the motorcycle, was I said, I should be a little bit smarter, and I joined a motorcycle gang. I'm kidding, group. and so what I did was we put us on these little motorcycles. I was like, damn, this is smaller than I normally ride, but it was good for me to be with other people. And then I had some resources. How do you pick up a bike? And you have to kind of get from behind and push it from the back of you. That's what a lot of women do. I would have never known. And so, yes, I did end up getting my license. And the most wonderful thing was, upon graduation, one of the people that was leading the class invited me to come to a group motorcycle ride. And there were like 100 people. And it was amazing. I could feel, talking about heart pulse, of the motorcycles, when they went, they shook. The whole ground shook. And you stayed and you zigzagged and we all went together. We went from Norwalk, right here near the police station, and we went all the way up to Lake Litchfield. And the most amazing thing was, we would go through red lights, and the police would come up front and they'd stop, and you did not stop, you just kept going. So, I just wanted to leave you with one thought, which is, life is beautiful, and you have everything around you to learn, teach, grow, and love. So, kindness is contagious. So please, go out there, create a vibe, and create a lot of love, and everyone can